see it. There we go. Yep, there it is.
Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? What's good? You are rocking with the best. It is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday. And you know what time it is? It is Conversations with Comedians on Beltway Radio and Beyond. I'm your host, Mr. Perspective, Doug Bennett. And as always, I'm joined in the lab by Mr. B Easy. What up, B?
Hi.
That's the I'm going to start doing shows remotely because that's when you get loud. That's when you get loud.
Get loud or
You get loud.
I get loud.
Yeah, because you normally, when we in studio, you're like, hi. That's exactly what you do. So, I'm glad, what I'm saying, I finally found the key to unlocking your volume. I got to be remote.
Okay.
Can't be in the studio. This is exactly why we can't come together as a people. Our greatness only shines when we separate it. What's going on, B, man? It's been a pretty interesting weekend, bro. What's going on?
Normal, trying to recover from the new 9 to 5 or 7 to 3 that I'm doing, and nothing else much. I'm recapping, or not watching, catching up. That's the word I'm using. Catching up on the Marvel Secret Invasion, because
they're still making Marvel shit.
Yeah, because we got to get to Kane Dynasty and Secret Wars soon.
No. Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the last Marvel movie called End Game?
End Game to the Infinity War, yes.
End Game. End means end. Like, that's it. No more. That's all she wrote.
Nope.
So you're trying to tell me Thanos was at the time period the most powerful entity in the galaxy. Yeah. And they found more niggas after him?
Been a lot of people after him. Shoot. There's Doctor Doom, there's Kane, who's, like I said, the main upcoming villain. And there's, good lord, there's a plethora of villains that the Avengers.
Then why is Thanos supposed to be that dude?
I interpret this.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me finish. The Infinity Gauntlet.
I know this nigga didn't clap it.
He's like, you know how black folks are. But the Infinity Gauntlet is one of the most iconic Avengers stories around. So this first wave of movies they've done, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline was just the epicest storyline. Now they're trying to, since business wise, since Disney purchased Fox stuff and Sony stuff, mind you, with the X-Men and the Spider-Man movies. So they're trying to sort of mix this in. That's why this saga is called the Multiverse Saga.
No, what they're doing is, now that there's a strike in Hollywood, they ain't got to worry about writers for them, because all they got to do is keep going back to other comic books, because the screenplay is already written out for Marvel. So they're like, let's just continue to recycle this shit. Let's just continue to keep doing it until these people get enough of living in fantasy. Because all the other movies that they done came out with, I want you to think about it. They have not had any original scripts lately. They came out with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is some shit that happened 80 years ago. So all you got to do is go to an Encyclopedia Britannica. And I'm being for real. Barbie's another one. Barbie has been around, since the 40s?
Yeah.
All they had to do was find a blonde chick. Margot Robbie, check. Find a blonde dude. Ryan Gosling, check, and get them various little houses. That's it. Barbie is nothing more than a documentary about how feminism has come in and taken the world over. It is, man. Literally, there is a scene in Barbie where I don't know if she's talking to her fairy godmother or whatever, and she's holding two shoes in her hand. One is the Barbie slipper, where Barbie can't never put her foot down flat. Barbie got permanent arches in her feet.
Right.
And the other is a regular shoe that allows her to see what life is really like. As Barbie is trying to pick the shoe that will keep her life easy and will keep her without being pregnant because Ken keeps coming in a different box. The godmother keeps trying to force her idea on her. Does that sound like something that we're not experiencing right now?
Again, one, I haven't seen either one. So my sister told me she saw it and she liked it. And actually the part that you're talking about, she wanted to do a standing ovation for that moment.
Yeah, I bet she did. Your sister thinks she's equal, doesn't she? Men and women are the same, right?
I didn't ask her that question. So
you don't have to if she wanted to clap on that damn part. I'm just saying, man, that's probably the reason why people keep milking this stuff over and over, because the writers are on strike. The writers are on strike and nobody trying to hear that joint, and nobody trying to pay them. Nobody trying to pay them. And that's the reason why all they're doing is recycling movies now.
They were recycling stuff before the writer's strike. So
touche, but it's more evident now. It's more evident now. Like, what was the last, honestly, before we get into today's topics, what was the last real original movie you ever saw?
Not based on a whatever.
Don't worry, let the Lord use you. Probably a documentary on Netflix. Because nobody knew OJ was in the running for the Terminator.
Yeah. Actually, I saw the Wham documentary.
A documentary. Thank you. There is no writing needed in that. Just sit down and tell us about your life and make sure anything you say is beyond the statute of limitations. That's pretty much it.
True.
There you go. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. We're going to get it started with my favorite family and yours, the Kardashians. That's right. Stephen A. Smith, who is pretty much the face of ESPN, if not sports talk radio, was on his show, the Stephen A. Smith podcast, and brought up the fact that, and put a tweet out saying that Kim is a prostitute and her mom, Kris, is a pimp. Now, I know everybody thinks this is newsworthy, but I guess the biggest part about it is the fact of the matter, he used the word prostitute and pimp. To that you say what, B? Do you think Kim Kardashian is a prostitute and her mom, Kris, is a pimp?
Everyone's been saying that for over a decade. So he's just late to the damn boat.
So why is it such a big deal and why does he need to apologize?
Because he's an idiot. I mean, honestly, Stephen A. Smith feels like you just said earlier, he's, the quote unquote face of ESPN or whatever.
He is.
For who knows how long, because he stated after the recent firing squad that they had, he could be the next on the list.
They ain't getting rid of Stephen A. Smith no time soon. They ain't getting rid of him no time soon. I hate it when he go on vacation because First Take ain't worth watching.
Anywho, I don't pay. I stopped listening to him ever since he left out of here, when he was, when he first came here to do to George Michael's, sports talk show. I was like, who is this loudmouth?
George Michael had a sports talk show?
Yeah.
What was it called? Careless Whisper?
Haha, funny. Yes. the sports, the legendary DC sportscaster, George Michael. He had Full Court Press, which had Wilbon.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So Stephen A. Smith came in to fill in for Wilbon a few times. And when I saw this dude, it was like, okay, he's opinionated. I give him that, but it was just loud and so over the top. And next thing you know, I find out, oh, he's now on ESPN. I was like, okay, this is
A
really,
black dude that's loud.
yeah,
Surprise, surprise. That's about as newsworthy as saying Kim Kardashian is a prostitute.
right. That's what I'm saying. So this like these two go hand in hand, and I feel like, dude, where have you been? It's like everyone's been saying it's like Chris has been pimping out her daughters for over 20 years. Even maybe even before the sex tape, it's been like that. So it's like nothing new. And
But
I'm like,
you want to know what really bothers me about this, though? It just goes to show you what's going on in the world today. Whenever you bring up something that is an indisputable, undeniable fact, like perfect example, Brian, I want you to look up the word prostitute. Let's get the definition of it. No, I'm being for real, bro. I'm being for real.
break.
Yeah, cause I can't do it because I'm on my phone. But I want to know what the definition of prostitute is.
Oh, I cannot believe we're looking up prostitute. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what prostitute means. Prostitute, sadly say, is either a noun, a person, in particular a woman, who engaged in sexual activity for payment. Or it can be a verb, offers someone for sexual activity in exchange for payment. And there's
all right, go back to the noun. I want you to say it distinctly what the definition is again. I'm gonna treat it like church. I'm gonna tell you to read a scripture, and then I'm gonna repeat each word. Go ahead. Ready? Read.
All right. A person.
A person. No.
In particular.
In particular.
A woman.
A woman. A woman.
Who engages
or intertwines herself, because it has to be herself, because it's a woman. Go on.
In sexual activity for payment.
Sexual activity, intercourse, fornication, taking the wood to the beaver. Is that the whole definition, Deacon Brian?
That's what it was stated, yes.
All right. Now,
it's partially wrong, but okay.
Sex tape, $1 billion empire. Sex tape, television show. Sex tape, modeling career. Sex tape, Kanye West. Do you see the intertwining of prostitution there?
No.
You don't. All right, so you're telling me, so you don't think that definition fits how she has carried herself?
Here's how I see it.
Oh, this nigga right here is an apologist for hoes. He's a hoeologist. That's what
Anywho, ever since the sex tape came out, I do agree the fact that Kris Jenner has been pretty much putting Kim out there to whatever extent, because initially Kim Kardashian wanted to be like Paris Hilton, and Paris was doing whatever Paris did, Kim copied. So, and Paris had a sex tape.
Yeah, it was called Herpes Unloaded.
Right. So, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, Kim has one too. Paris had a reality show. Oh, let's have Kim has one too. So, knowing full well, like, this was the only way to, Kim was the only person who could help feed our family, whatever. By either laying down with
poor. That's the part. They weren't poor. You can't be poor and live in Calabasas.
That's the thing. They were, yeah, I do agree. They were not poor. But the thing is, like, these people didn't do shit. Their father did. I mean, Kim's father did. I mean, he was a lawyer. He was a legendary lawyer to the OJ trial. But honestly, it's like, what have these girls done? Nothing. And all of lately, it's like, oh, we have a fashion business. We have this, we have that now. And it's like, woman, all you do was put your name on some shit and call it a day. That's nothing. And and the way I see it is like, again, this is something that's like this, like recycling. Say what we talked about earlier with the whole movie industry is. This is recycled shit. Stephen A. Smith is talking about something that I swear to God, it's like people's like, dude, where have you been? I mean, it's
I
like,
don't know,
well,
man. I don't know if I call Chris a pimp. I think she's an excellent marketer.
no, she's a pimp.
Well, pimping ain't
The only,
nothing but
the only
marketing.
people, look, the only people she cannot pimp out is Courtney. Courtney is like she's done with this shit. She never could. Kim, yes, because she's the hot girl, of course. Chloe, she was able to pimp out Chloe. Courtney, she couldn't because one, she's a mother. She's got at the time I think two
All of
kids.
them are mothers now.
Well, all now, but before all this craziness,
All of them are mothers, and Rob is constantly pregnant.
yes. So
I do feel so. I ain't gonna lie to you. Before we move on, I do feel sorry for Rob because you do realize that Rob is the only real person that can carry the Kardashian name on.
True.
Like you do realize that. Like Courtney's kids aren't Kardashians; they're Disick's.
Mm-hmm.
Kim's kids are West. Mm-hmm. Chloe's kids are Thompsons, mm-hmm. and Kendall's kids are. Is his last name Scott or is that a moniker?
I don't know. I don't care.
I don't care. Like Rob is the only real Kardashian, and they don't even have him on the show.
And I think he has a daughter.
Yes.
So he doesn't have a son yet.
Like I'll put it to you like this: Rob is such an outcast. His two younger sisters aren't even Kardashians, and they're on a show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Sure.
Not Keeping Up with the Kardashians and the Jenners. Not Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and let's not forget these two Jenners. No, they're full-blown Kardashians. And Rob is the only person I know that's on that no missing persons report has been filed on. Yet we haven't seen that motherfucker in like 10 seasons.
And again, I don't think no one does. I mean, even though he had Black China, but
no, Angela. Her name's Angela now.
Angela White, not the porn star Angela White, but the wannabe Angela White.
She probably had more notoriety if she was the porn star Angela White.
True.
Oh man, but speaking of Stephen A. Smith and sports, man, the big fight was this past weekend. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Now, I saw the fight, and I think that people honestly need to kind of watch what it is they say when it comes to Errol Spence, because we got to give Errol Spence props. I give anybody who's a pugilist props for getting in the ring and allowing themselves to literally have somebody throw punches at their head for like an hour. And I think people who are talking shit about Errol Spence need to watch their mouth, because that man has got tremendous heart. With that being said, that shit was an ass whooping of epic proportions. It really and truly was. I'll put it to you like this. The only ass whooping I can think of worse than that is Custer at Little Bighorn. I'll put it like this. If Errol Spence was the Titanic, Bud Crawford is the biggest, blackest iceberg I've ever seen in my life. If Errol Spence is the Titanic, Bud Crawford is the biggest, blackest iceberg I've ever seen. Because that shit was crazy, bro. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted Errol Spence to win. But Brian, have you ever been in a position where you want something to happen, but you know deep down inside the opposite is going to take place?
Several times.
Yeah. I'm going to be real with you. There have been plenty of times I've been having sex and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to last an hour. But I knew in the back of my mind that it was only going to be about 5 minutes. So I'd have to do 12 5-minute sessions to equal that 60 minutes. But I wanted to last an hour, but I knew it was only going to be 5 minutes. That's exactly what happened in this fight. I wanted Errol Spence to win. I really did. But in the back of my mind, I said, bruh, Bud going to beat his ass. I just didn't expect for it to be like that.
Did you?
I didn't expect for it to be like that. I really and truly did.
If I'm correct, one, I never saw the fight. I don't care about boxing anymore. But I did see the the weigh-in, and the two acted like, like, hey, it's like, thanks for the opportunity. It was like,
Yeah, man.
it was like, okay, I understand respect and mutual respect, which is understandable, but it's like,
That motherfucker Bud pulled an X-Man on him. He took his power. He
yeah.
rolled. He rolled. He
Just a-
rolled. That's exactly. I'm telling you. This why I don't shake niggas' hands. I give you a fist pump, bruh. I give you a fist pump because he must have taken Arrow's power or something, bro. Like, like, like. It's one. Listen to me, man. As a veteran of somebody whose mama has beat his ass for years. That was some shit. Bud beat him as if his name was on Errol's birth certificate. Like, his name shouldn't have been Errol Spence Jr. It should have been Terrence Crawford Jr. And I think Terrence Crawford's a junior, so it should have been Terrence Crawford Jr. Jr. Because it was so lopsided, man. I've never seen anything that lopsided since I left the playground after jumping off the seesaw when I had somebody in the air. Like, it was that bad. But the part that's getting me is everybody who's sitting up here talking all this trash about Errol. It's like, yo, y'all need, like Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields picked Errol Spence to win. And as soon as Bud got back to the locker room, she was on Facebook, on Instagram Live, talking about, yeah, this my boy. That lets me know there's a lesson to be learned here, fellas. Women do not begin with you at the starting line. They wait at the finish line to fuck the winner. I'm telling you. They wait at the finish line to fuck the winner. You may not like it. Listen, don't get mad at me. I just report the news. But there are very few women out there who's going to begin with you at the finish line. I mean, at the starting line. They wait till you get to the finish line. Because you're not going to make me believe that if Errol had won that fight, Clarissa wouldn't have been in his locker room. Notice there's no objection coming.
Because there is nothing. Like I said, boxing is a fickle sport, and we got fickle people, all around. So, yeah, if she wanted to change her mind, especially probably after that first knockdown, then that was her prerogative.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna start taking women's philosophies on stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a football game this year with the Commanders, excuse me, and I'm gonna have a Commanders jersey on. And as soon as I see that the game is out of reach and the Commanders are losing, whatever team they're playing, I'm gonna strip the Commanders jersey off and have that team's jersey under and start cheering for them. I'm dead serious. When they play the Eagles, I'm going to get a Jalen Hurts jersey, and I'm going to put that on under. What Commanders jerseys do they sell? Sam Howell. Maybe I'll just come to the stadium with a Jalen Hurts jersey if it's Sam Howell. I'm just saying. But yeah, but I hope Terrence can recover from this, man, because I'll be real with you, not to make excuses, but Errol Spence has been through some shit. Like, think about this. Errol Spence was in a Ferrari that was going well over the speed limit, because you can't do the speed limit in a Ferrari. It's impossible.
No, of course not.
So he was literally going above the speed limit, and the Ferrari flipped like 8 times. Like if anybody, I'll put it to you like this. This is the movie. Look at Another 48 Hours. That's how many times that Ferrari flipped. As many times as that bus that had Eddie Murphy in it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, he was ejected from the car. So technically, he shouldn't even be alive, let alone boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got rear-ended again. And anybody who's ever been rear-ended, you're going to have back issues. His teeth got knocked out, so he had dental surgery, and this nigga had retinal surgery. He is a walking, he's a walking Inspector Gadget. He's a walking operation board. And on top of that, he had an 18-month layover. 18-month layover. And you come back and your first fight is Terrence Bud Crawford. I'm I'ma say that again. This nigga was in a Ferrari that flipped over 100 times. And he was only in it for 50 of them because he got ejected from the car. His entire front teeth are replaced. His retina was replaced. And I don't even know how you replace a retina, but they replaced the retina.
Mm-hmm.
And he took an 18-month hiatus, and the first person he boxes is Terrence Crawford. Even when Michael Jordan took 18 months off, the nigga played 17 regular season games before he got to the playoffs. So I hope Errol can recover from this mentally and psychologically, because I don't think he should retire like other people say. People like, yo, he need to retire. No, he don't need to retire. He just needs to take some time off. Because he's talking about putting a rematch clause in for December. Bro, I don't know if 4 months is enough for you to get over that ass whooping. I really and truly don't know.
Let's remember, like I said, during the weigh-in, he mentioned the fact, hey, we're getting paid, and he got paid. So you don't care. He got paid to get his ass whooped.
So he prostituted himself.
Bingo.
I swear, man, I can't, man. What's next up, Be Easy? Oh, we had what? Let's hit the next one because I want to make sure I give enough time to the main event, so to speak.
What do you want to talk about? Hold on.
I think we're talking about Cardi B. Cardi B.
Cardi.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Some of y'all fans are going to fuck around and find out, as this fan did. Do you understand how mad you got to be to throw the microphone? You're a rapper. The microphone is what you need for people to sing along. Like, people came to hear you speak into the microphone. You know how mad you got to be for you to take the microphone and say, fuck the other thousands of people here. I'ma throw this shit at you. Like, for real, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. What Cardi B did is the equivalent of a man taking off the condom and throwing it at the girl. That's literally what it is. Girl, you got the audacity to dry up. And he takes the condom off and flicks it like a rubber band at her forehead. I mean, what do you think about that, man? What do you think about that? Because we don't have, because this is like the second time we've heard about a star or an artist having a negative interaction with the crowd. The first was Monica. When Monica jumped down there trying to defend the woman, and now that we saw the whole video, we realized that woman hit and kicked that dude before he retaliated.
My thing is fans are getting way too comfortable. I think what I saw, I have no problems with what Cardi did. It was like.
But why the microphone though? Take your weave out of your teeth, because you know those ain't her teeth. Take your teeth out and throw them at her. And then go to the same dentist that Errol Spence went to.
But I felt like, yeah, she she had every right. She won. It's like no one, she didn't be asked or off. It's like you throwing water or whatever. You're throwing your drink on her for what? What was the reaction you got? Is the reaction you got? It wasn't like one of those sprinklers or anything. No, you literally threw your drink at her for no reason.
They're saying that Cardi actually threw the mic at the wrong person.
Probably. But
So you saying Cardi ain't got no aim?
I say, well, Cardi's just mad. Let's put it that way. Cardi was mad.
Cardi's aim was Offset. Yeah. But listen, I'm on a roll today, baby. But this is the funny thing about me. this is the thing that's crazy to me. We live in an era now where we really and truly, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I honestly believe some of these people just need to get punched in their mouth. Straight up. I do my best not to advocate for violence, but sometimes violence is the only answer. Because why would you come to my show? Why would you pay your money, get in your car after spending 3.5 hours to get yourself together? Because I was a woman that threw that drink. Mm-hmm. Just to get up to pay the money to be in the front, to disrespect an artist that you want to come see. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Mm-hmm. That's like giving a nigga your phone number and not picking the phone up. Just say you don't want to give him your number. Right. You can tell that doesn't happen to me a couple of times. If I had a microphone, I'd throw it at that bitch myself too. Listen, I just don't understand what's the point, man. Where have we gotten this blatant, outright, overt disrespect from?
Again, like I said, we everyone's gotten comfortable. Everyone feels like they know these artists like they're their best friends. Like, you don't know them. You don't. You go, you enjoy their music or you enjoy what they do, and that's it. I've been to many concerts. I have had opportunities to be in the front row and on some of them. One of them was Janet. And
don't bring that up, please.
And I mean, mine is like I'm entertained by all what they're giving me. That is it. I don't need to do anything else. Just be in that seat, stand up, enjoy the visuals that they're giving me, and then leave home and play their music again, on the road home, and that is it. I do not need to do anything else. But these people nowadays are acting ignorant because they feel like they can get away with shit and not realizing the fact it's like, yeah, they will retaliate. And it's not just going to be the artist, it's going to be the artist's entourage too.
Yes, the whole security. I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing that saved that person was the fact that A, Cardi threw the mic at the wrong person, and B, even if she threw it at the right person, she was a woman. Because if that was a dude, bruh, it'd have been a wrap. Yeah, it'd have been a wrap. They'd have beat the brakes off that.
2.5, or Spencer Crawford 2.5 right there.
Hell yes. Hell yes. They'd have beat the shit out of him. Like, really. And guess what? He wouldn't have gotten no standing 8 count. Just saying, man, y'all need to get it together because these celebrities are people too. And Cardi, to me, Cardi is not the type of person that I would want to test. I remember her doing a Vlad interview where she used to sit up here and talk about she used to drug dudes, rob them. Remember that? And then have, I think, a trans person come in there and rape them while they were drugged? Or grape them, grape them while they were drugged. That is not the type of person I'm throwing a drink at. I ain't messing with Cardi. Cardi ain't been, see, this is the thing. Cardi ain't been famous that long, y'all. Cardi has not been famous that long. That girl is Bronx, born and bred. Y'all better leave her alone. If y'all want to throw drinks at somebody, y'all better go to a Taylor Swift concert. Y'all better throw drinks at Taylor Swift or Shania Twain or somebody.
Hold on. Not Shania. Leave Shania.
Okay, you got a choice. You got a choice. You got to throw a drink at somebody. You gonna throw a drink at Cardi or Shania?
Cardi.
You a damn lie.
I ain't lying.
You ain't throwing no drink with no Cardi B.
Did you hear me stutter?
Cardi B's married to a dude named Offset.
And he's broke as hell. Whatever.
I don't care whether he's broke or not. The fact that she's married to a dude named Offset means she's off her rocker.
And they've been going off and on for years. So what's your point?
There you go. There you go. Man, let's get into it, man. Last week, Ice Cube sat down with Tucker Carlson and gave about a 30-minute interview on various topics. Race in America, why he feels he's being blackballed from Hollywood, just the business, everything. He gave about a 30-minute interview with Tucker Carlson. And he has been receiving crazy backlash from the Black community. Now, every now and then, there's a sprinkle of white people in there who you know, woke white folk who jump in there and throw videos in there about Q. But mainly it's Black people. They're calling him a sellout, saying that he shouldn't even have sat down with Tucker Carlson, and a lot of the things that he said, you know, like he said one thing about police and police interaction with Black communities has been a hot topic for decades, maybe centuries. And what Cube said was, paraphrasing, that a lot of cops subscribe to the philosophy of just making it home, you know, and and Cube actually said it kind of political to a certain degree, where, well, PC, not political, but PC, where he was talking about how a lot of cops subscribe to just getting home, and a lot of times that has them act in ways that they shouldn't act. And since it wasn't met, because a lot of Black people, if you talk to them when it comes to police, that it's met with immediate vitriol. Is that safe to say, Brian?
Yeah, I agree.
It's met with immediate vitriol. They're pigs, you know, defund the police, all of this other stuff. And I guess because Cube took it in the manner in which he took it, because people need to understand this. Cube today is not the fuck the police Cube back in the 80s. He's totally different now. Like, it's the same thing with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy says he looks at Raw and Delirious now and he cringes. Why? Eddie Murphy is 62 years old. He is a long way from the dude who wore a leather suit with a silk scarf on stage. He's a long way from that. So naturally, Eddie in 2023 would cringe at what Eddie in 1982 with Delirious and 1989 with Raw did. Same thing with Ice Cube. We've got to allow people to grow and maturate. But the thing that gets me the most is I don't understand why he's being called a sellout. Like, Brian, do you believe Ice Cube violated by even sitting down with Tucker Carlson?
Black folk. All right.
Now, I want y'all, I'm going to preface this by saying, this is the same dude who makes excuses for hoes. I just putting this out there. The floor is yours, Brian.
I understand. And shout out to Shania Twain. Anyway. They said the exact same thing many years ago with Arsenio Hall talking to, you know, a lot of white, you know, entertainers and whomever. They said, oh, he's a sellout. I've heard this many times where a Black person goes on to the quote unquote opposition just to have a conversation, to speak their views on certain things, to at least to expand the platform, expand the dialogue on many issues that plight not only them, but to the nation.
The whole community as a whole.
Yeah. And for the last couple of years, Ice Cube has been carrying the mantle of talking to whatever outlet who wants to hear him about Black America.
Remember, Ice Cube got backlash for his contract with Black America, where people were like, he sat down with Trump. Right. And he wouldn't sit down with Biden. But the truth is, he sat down with Trump's people, and Joe Biden refused to sit down with Cube.
Right. So, well, here the thing is this, you know, with that in mind, you know, that to me, for Trump and his quote unquote people, for Trump, that was just a photo op shit, to be fully honest. To me, I feel that's a photo thing.
Did Trump ever take a?
They never met. With Steve Harvey. Yeah, they never did that. But if you know, even with his people there, just to claim the fact that I talked, you know, hey, my people talk with Ice Cube, blah blah blah. He can use it as a PR stunt, and it is like whatever, dude. It was just like I mean, mind you, you're talking to the president of the United States, but the guy was a farce anyway. But that's besides the point. Talking to Tucker Carlson is, mind you, he's not the, he's off of Fox, but yeah, his views are, weird as shit. But
yeah, that's an understatement.
That's a complete understatement.
Yeah, Tucker's a piece of work.
Yeah. So, but just for his platform, just to be heard on his platform, expands the fact that, like, for Cube to again talk about what's going on. But again, a lot of people are missing what he's trying to do. He can't constantly be on MSNBC because, again, mind you, they'll milk that thing to here left and right. It is best to go on to the other side, so to speak, and talk to those people, those that you are kind of being the oppressors. And it's like, this is what's going on in our end. You're claiming that this is happening to you. This is also happening to us. We're kind of in the same boat here. And that's what's pretty much what Ice Cube was trying to say.
First, to talk about Tucker on Fox. Mm-hmm. Do you understand how prejudiced and racist you got to be for Fox News to throw you off of it?
Well,
that's literally like going to a strip club and a bitch named Cinnamon goes up to another one named Paprika and be like, listen, it's one thing to make your booty clap, but I think you're taking it too far with the round of applause that you're giving. And I've talked to everybody here at Club Sugar Daddy, and we think that it's time for you to seek employment elsewhere. Like, what? Like, we all selling sex here. I think the biggest thing that people are saying when it comes to Ice Cube, where they're saying that he's a sellout, because I remember him talking, he even mentioned Obama, and he said that Obama didn't do anything for Black people. And the funny thing about it is he's not the first prominent Black person to ever say that. Your boy, Umar Shoemaker, he says the same thing. Your boy. You can tell, hey, America, you can tell Black people, they always want to shuck accountable. Hey, your boy, your boy. But this is my thing right here, and this is the only pushback I give with people when it comes to Obama. Have you ever been president of the United States before? I don't think most people have been president of the PTA.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people understand everything that comes along with being president of the United States. Like, there's a lot of shit. Like, think about this, Brian. He was the first Black president of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
535 members of Congress he has to speak to. And 400 of them mofos didn't want him in the office. And he got to convince 400 of them that he's doing the right thing for America as a whole. There are husbands out there who can't even convince their wives on what it is they can put in their own bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I like these curtains right here. Nigga, your job is to bring the money in the house. My job is to decipher what we do with it. Like, you got one person to convince. There are parents out there who can't even convince their children that they got their best interests at heart, while the child comes home to a house that's paid for, food that's in the refrigerator that they didn't buy, and clothes that they can put on that they didn't buy. And it's still difficult for parents to convince their children that they got their best interests at heart. Now, imagine a Black president trying to convince 535 people, where at least 400 of them didn't want his ass in office, that what he's doing is the best thing for America. So I think people really and truly need to give Obama a break on that. I do. Now, there are certain things that I do feel maybe he could have done more of, but just to openly and blanketly condemn him as if he didn't do shit. Like, perfect example, I compare Barack Obama to Jackie Robinson. If you look up Jackie Robinson's stats, they do not compare to other players in Major League history. They don't even compare to other Black players in Major League history. I would consider Sammy Sosa Black, not no more. That motherfucker. You know, I don't know what the hell that happened to Sammy Sosa. He took Michael Jackson's Villa-Lago, and that shit is 2.0 now. Like, he looked like Mr. Sandman. But If you look at Jackie Robinson's stats, they do not compare to the likes of a Ken Griffey Jr., or Barry Bonds. Hell, they don't even compare to Willie Mays. But you have to give Jackie Robinson props and deference and reverence because he was the first to break through in an all-white sport. So if you're looking at Jackie Robinson, be like, oh, Jackie Robinson only got so many home runs. Yeah, but you're talking about a guy who broke through an all-white sport to become the first Black player. That right there is what I think of with Obama. Yeah, Obama may not have he may not have done everything that you want him to do, but because for some reason Black people thought he was going to erase 400 years of oppression in 8 damn years.
Well, they were anticipating that, and it's especially. But again, you didn't hear about reparations until after he left. It was like it wasn't even during. It was just after it. But the whole point here is, the whole quote unquote sellout thing.
What is a sellout?
I have no idea. I still,
Thank you.
Like I said, I remember Arsenio said, it's like, I sell out concerts, I sell out arenas, I sell out, T-shirts with my name on it. Yeah, I'm selling out. I'm making money.
I tell people that all the time. Yeah. If we make it big, Brian, Doug, you sold out. Damn right. Here's my receipt, nigga. Yeah. Because this is the thing that kills me. I'm a run because they'll say Ice Cube is a sellout, right? They said he's a sellout for sitting down with Tucker Carlson. He's a sellout for quote unquote ridiculing Obama. He's a sellout for not blanketly condemning the police and even more about race, because you know us in the Black community as a whole, we love to blame the mystical, mysterious white man. Right. Like all white people are bad. But the funny thing about it is we don't like a lot of people in our own damn family. Right. So, but this is what kills me. And this is the reason why I asked, what is a sellout? Because they're calling Ice Cube a sellout. Let me run down Ice Cube's credentials for those who don't know. Fuck his movies, fuck his albums and his songs. This is Ice Cube's credentials. A devout Muslim. Devout. Ice Cube has been married to the same woman for 30 years. All of his children come from the loins of one woman. Ice Cube has been famous since he was 18 years old. Ice Cube had a platinum plaque before he got out of high school. He's never been caught up in any scandals. There are no women out there that has ever accused Ice Cube of taking indecent liberties with them. Ice Cube ain't got no children out of wedlock. None of that shit. Ice Cube, to me, has always put his people first, whether it's in his music, in his movies, or in that contract with Black America. And yet we're going to call him a sellout. But the funny thing about it is, B, the average Black person living in the hood, the ones that call them a sellout, I guarantee you they know somebody in the Black community that's doing some shit that they shouldn't do. Whether it's selling drugs, whether it's stealing, whether it's scamming. And they'll still be friends with them, talk about in the name of keeping it real. I guarantee you there are Black men out there who hang out with a dude who they know ain't taking care of his kids. But they'll be like, that ain't my problem. I guarantee you there are women out there who are hanging around women who are engaging in acts that are unbecoming of the queen moniker that we love to throw around and levy against every woman. But we'll call Ice Cube, who's the antithesis of all that, a sellout, just because philosophically we may disagree. That's the reason why I asked somebody tell me what a sellout is. Because as a Black person, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because I don't know what it is to be Black anymore. I truly don't. I feel like we're the only race of people that have got to prove their Blackness every single day to people who didn't even give it to us. I mean, to that you say what, B? Am I off? Am I wrong?
No, because like I said, I've heard this over 30 years ago. It's when Black people reach a certain level and it gets to the point where they are finally talking and speaking outside the normal, you know, curriculum, I would say, that they do. I mean, people wonder, it's like, man, this is like, what's with this, Harvard education ideology you're coming with? Man, you're selling out here. And it's like, what the hell? It's like, dude, they do have a brain. They do talk. They do have some, logical reasoning of certain things that are going on in this planet. So for someone like Ice Cube, for someone like, you could go back in the days, the late Harry Belafonte, because everyone thought he was a sellout, talking to various people and things of that nature. But no, he was like, look, I'm speaking my truth and helping to be a voice for those who are not speaking right now.
But that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that gets me. Like even back with Ice Cube, remember we were talking about it about a year some change ago when he went on there with the lunch ladies on Fox Soul, and they ridiculed him over his contract with Black America
because they were ignorant.
No, ignorant means you don't know. They were stupid.
Well, okay, you want to go that
low? They were stupid. Yes. Yes, they were stupid. Listen, my uncle told me this. I can tolerate ignorance. I cannot condone stupidity. Because ignorance means you just don't know. Stupid means you know when you do otherwise. That's the reason why when Ice Cube was like, yeah, I do have something in there for black women, black people. No, Ice Cube. No. So y'all ain't black people now, stupid. That's what he should have said. So y'all ain't black people, stupid. And this is the reason why I can kind of understand why black people, when they do reach a certain status, they run for the hills. Because it's like there's no pleasing us.
No.
Hey, there's no pleasing us, bro. There really and truly isn't. Name somebody who came out with a contract of Black America prior to Ice Cube. We constantly sit around in our little peanut galleries and at our dinner tables talking about, yo, man, these celebrities wouldn't be who they are without us. They need to remember us. And Ice Cube does. And the people who turn on him are the people who he's looking out for.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is, somebody tell me what it is Claudia Jordan, Selena Johnson, Vivica A. Fox, and Lisa Ray have ever done to move the culture. Don't worry, let the Lord use you.
Well, back in the 90s, we were fine as fuck. Now I have no idea.
They weren't moving the culture. They was moving something else.
Oh, yeah. I'll give it.
Especially Lisa Ray. Yeah. To this day. And that's the reason why with Lisa Ray, I was mad disappointed in that interview. And I know I'm going back, y'all, but I was mad disappointed. She sat there like a mime. You're relevant because of this man.
Yeah.
Like Lisa, I dare somebody to give me a movie not named The Players Club that's worth remembering that Lisa Ray has done.
That's it. Sad to say, that's it.
Nothing.
Besides the TV show, but no, that was it.
And she did, and the only reason Lisa Ray had a TV show is because of Players Club. Players Club is almost 30 years old, and Lisa Ray is still affectionately known as Diamond. And she sat there while they crucified or tried to. And I guess my whole thing is, I'm not so much an advocate for Ice Cube. I'm just an advocate for people who are trying to do the right thing that we in the black community want to call sellouts. That's the reason why I'm asking, what is a sellout? Because if you ask me, the person who affiliates with a drug dealer knowing he sells drugs, that's a sellout. A person who's sitting up here affiliating with a guy who doesn't take care of his children, that's a sellout. A person who sits up here turning a blind eye to a woman who is engaging in destructive behavior or is not taking care of her children, that's a sellout. Not somebody who decides to sit down and have an intelligent conversation with somebody from opposing points of view. It's like D.L. Hughley said, I love playing away games. I love playing away games. Michael Jordan's most two famous shots, the shot versus Cleveland in '89 and the shot versus Utah in '98. Why they were so endearing and so legendary is because they happened on an away court.
Mhm.
And it was for all the marbles. It's easy for him to hit game-winning shots in Chicago, but it's even better when you can take that game on the road.
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. I don't know about you, B, but I really and truly think us in the Black community, we really and truly need to sit up here and come up with some clear-cut definitions of what sellout means. Because if you're going to use if you're going to use the term sellout with somebody as stellar as Ice Cube, then nigga, you might as well put a price tag on my head right now, I guess.
What, you're $5.99 right now?
Hey, hey, don't shortchange me. Those are OnlyFans prices. Those are OnlyFans prices.
Okay.
Yo, man. Once again, man, you know it's about that time, man. We got to sign out. I want to thank y'all so much for kicking it with me, man. My audience and everything. You know, I run into people who tell me about my clips all the time, especially the one about not trusting your children. I had one person tell me, I trust my child. I said, how old are you? How old are they? They're 21. I said, do they live with you? No. I said, so you're trusting them not to come back. Like, you're trusting them not to come back. But I want to show much love to all of my people out there, all of my viewers, all of my watchers. Thank you so much for joining us every Monday at 6. Man, for my engineer, Be Easy, I am Mr. Perspective, Doug Bennett. Thank you for joining us on Conversations with Comedians. We will be back next week bringing more comedy to the conversation. Peace.